Welcome back, and we begin now on Brachos stuff. Mem Tes Amud Beis, really plowing our way through Brachos, reaching the end, starting to see, feel, and then now we're already quite far into the second half and moving closer and closer towards the final Amud of Brachos. And for many people who've been doing this, I believe that it's going to be their first siyum on a full Masechta, which is very special, and especially Masechta as incredible as Brachos is, as long and as challenging as it sometimes is. Not an easy Masechta, and especially not a first Masechta. And for many of my students who are quite young, some even in fourth grade, sixth grade, seventh, eighth grade, they have been working very hard, and we're very proud of them. So as we plow through, we continue now on Daf Mem Tes Amud Beis. We are 7 lines from the top. Last word in the line is Amar, and here we go. Amar Rav Idi bar Avin, Amar Rav Amram, Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Shmuel. So a chain of 4 rabbis in one Masorah. Rav Idi bar Avin, in the name of Rav Amram, in the name of Rav Nachman, in the name of Shmuel. He said the following: Ta'av lo hiskir shel Rosh Chodesh b'tefillah. If somebody made a mistake and did not mention Rosh Chodesh in tefillah, in davening, matzchir, he has to go back to the beginning of davening. So if a person forgot to mention the special part of Shmona Esrei, which talks about Rosh Chodesh in tefillah, all the way back to the beginning, the Birkas Hamazon. But if he did this in Birkas Hamazon, ein machzir naso, no need to go back all the way to the beginning. Amar le Rav Avin, Rav Amram. Rav Avin said to Rav Amram, Maishna tefillah, umaishna Birkas Hamazon. What's the difference between tefillah and what's the difference between Birkas Hamazon? So why was Rav Amram asked this question? Because Rav Amram was the second person in the chain of narration before who said that you do go back in Shemona Esrei if you forgot Rosh Chodesh, but not in Birkas Hamazon. So Rav Avin asked Rav Amram, what's the difference between tefillah and between Birkas Hamazon? Amar le, he said to him, Af lididi kashili. This also bothered me. This is a problem for me as well. I didn't know the answer. Vishaltiha le Rav Nachman. I asked this to Rav Nachman. Again, Rav Nachman was the one before him. So Rav Amram is asking Rav Nachman. And so I asked Rav Nachman, V'amar li, and Rav Nachman said to me, Minei demar Shmuel lo shamieli. I did not hear anything from Shmuel on this topic. And remember, Shmuel was the first person in that chain of narration. So we've gone through these 3 rabbis, going back, attempting to deconstruct the reason for this halacha. Rav Nachman said, I did not hear the reason from Shmuel. Ella, but nechzi anan. Let's try to understand this for ourselves. Tefillah dechovahi machzirinan also. That tefillah, which is an obligation, a Torah obligation, that we go back. We go back for that. Birkas Mazona, di ibai achil, ibai lo achil. And Birkas Hamazon, if the person wants to eat, he has to say it, but if he doesn't want to eat, he doesn't have to eat. Ein machzir no, so then he doesn't have to say it again. So tefillah, we know, it has a zman, it has a time, and now you have to say tefillah, whether you want to or not. If I really didn't want to bench, I could never eat bread again, and really I don't ever have to bench. So really, tefillah is more of an obligation than benching, and that's why maybe that's what Rav Nachman is suggesting. That's why we would go back for tefillah. The tefillah is more important, but not for benching. Elamiata, but by this logic, Shabbosos v'yamim tovim, regarding Shabbos and Yontif, delo sagi, delo achil, it's not possible that a person can't eat. You have to eat bread on Shabbos and Yontif. Hachanami di tai hadar. So we should say that if he makes a mistake there, then he should go back, and that does make sense. Amar later Rav Amram replied, in that that actually is the case. The Amar Rabbi Shila Amar Rav. Rabbi Shila said in the name of Rav, Ta'a, if you made a mistake regarding the Shabbos part of benching, Chazar l'Rosh, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. V'amar Rav Huna Amar Rav, but Rav Huna said in the name of Rav, a different teaching. Ta'a Omer Baruch Shenasan. If you make a mistake, you have to say the bracha of Baruch Shenasan. As we learned on yesterday's daf, there are these very long, very intricate brachos that you have to say if you forget Shabbos or Yontif or Rosh Chodesh, and you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. So answer, Lav Itmar Allah. He didn't say that in reference to this. Lo Shanu Ela Shelo Pasach Ba'Tov Amitiv. That's only an applicable halacha that we say that bracha if a person had not begun hatov v'hametiv. Aval pasach batov v'hametiv. If you began hatov v'hametiv chozel l'rosh, then you'd have to go all the way back to the beginning. And now we end that portion of the Mishnah. We move on to the next part of the Mishnah, ad kama nizamnin. So back all the way on mem hey amad aleph, back in the Mishnah at the very beginning of this parak, the final part of that Mishnah. Ad kama nizamnin. Until when does a person do a zimun? Meaning, how much does the person have to eat to be considered for a zimun? Ad kazayas. He has to eat a full kazayas. That's opinion number one. Opinion number two, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Rabbi Yehuda says, ad kibetza. You have to eat a whole kibetza. So opinion one has to be at least the size of an olive's worth of bread. And Rabbi Yehuda says at least an egg's worth of bread. So, limemra de Rabbi Meir chashiv lekazayas. So it seemed to say that Rabbi Meir's opinion is a kazayas, Rabbi Yehuda kibetza, and Rabbi Yehuda is a kibetza. But we learned the opposite from them in other places. Ditnan, as we learned in another brisa, v'chein misha yatsa Yerushalayim. If somebody left Yerushalayim, v'niskar shahaya biyado basar kodesh, and he found that he's holding holy meat that he's only allowed to eat in Yerushalayim. Im avar tsofim, if he goes beyond tsofim, sorfo b'mkomo, he has to burn it at that spot. Beyond tsofim is way too far. The imlav, but if he had not gone past tsofim, chozer v'sorfo lifnei habira me'atze hamaracha, he can go back and burn it in front of the Beis Hamikdash with the wood, the atze, the logs of the ma'aracha, of the pyre. So ad kama him chozrim, how much does he have to be carrying with him in order for him to have to return back to Eretz Yisrael? Rabbi Meir Omer, according to Rabbi Meir, ze kibetza. You have to have a size of an egg. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, and Rabbi Yehuda says ze kizayas, and that's a kizayas. And we saw in the Mishnah, well, here we see Rabbi Yehuda says a kizayas. Rabbi Meir says a kibetza. In the Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda says a kibetza. And the other opinion, which we assume is Rabbi Meir, says a kizayas. So we have a problem. So Amar Rav Yochanan says, Muchlefas hashita. You have to switch the shita and switch the names, and then everything makes sense. So really, Rabbi Yehuda holds consistently in one way, and Rabbi Meir holds consistently the other way. So before we go on, first let's just ask the question: what is sofim? It says if he goes past sofim, then he has to burn the meat on that spot. So here we have a machlokas between Rashi and Tosfos. Rashi says the following: Im avar sofim, if he passed sofim, makom sheyachol liros beis hamikdash. It refers to a place where he's able to see the beis hamikdash. So sofim is not so much a specific place, but more the idea. If he goes so far away that if he turns around, he's not able to see the beis hamikdash anymore, from anywhere in any direction, no matter where that is, that's where he has to burn the meat over there. And according to Tosfos, he says the following: Im avar sofim. He first quotes Rashi's opinion. Makom shet shmot sofim. This is a different Rashi, and interestingly, there's a machlokas Rashi on Rashi, because Rashi and somewhere else, Rashi in Pesachim, says that sofim is a makom, is a place, shmot sofim, that his name is sofim, that it's an actual place. And but Tosfos actually gives his own opinion. Sofim have a lashon re'iyah. Sofim is a place, from a language of seeing. Vahachi perusha, and this is its explanation. Im hirchik miRushalayim kol kach. If you went so far from Yerushalayim, she'ena yochol liros Yerushalayim, so far that you're not able to see Yerushalayim anymore, sorfo bimkamo. Then you have to burn it in its place. So there are actually quite a few halachos that are they base themselves on seeing Yerushalayim, and one of them is where can you keep Shushan Purim? Shushan Purim being the day after we keep Purim in Galus. How far away from Yerushalayim? Yerushalayim, we know they keep Shushan Purim. They keep the 15th as Purim. But how far can you be and still keep Shushan Purim? So you have to be able to see the walls of Yerushalayim. Now, one time when I was in Israel, I went to my Rebbe, Rav Ari Fold, Hashem Yikom Damo, his house for Shabbos. He showed me a place in Ephrat, where we could very clearly see the walls of the old city. And in Ephrat, they keep the, not Shushan Purim, they keep the 14th day, regular Purim, and it was a big question whether they should actually keep Shushan Purim or they should keep going with their minhag and keep doing the Purim that they've been keeping for all the as far back as they knew. So they asked Rav Nevenzel, who's the chief rabbi of the old city, and Rav Nevenzel said, if you have a Masorah, don't break the Masorah, you keep your day. But nevertheless, Tzofim, the idea of Tzofim, is a place where it's so far away that you're not able to see Yerushalayim, and that's one idea. So back to the Gemara at hand. Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yochanan says switch their names, and really one of them holds Kezayas throughout, one holds Kebetza throughout. Abaya has a different understanding. La'olam lo tipoch. You don't have to switch their names at all. Hacha b'krai paligi. Here they're having an argument over how they interpret various psukim. Rabbi Meir Savar, Rabbi Meir holds v'achalta, that the word in the pasuk that we've been talking about last few days, v'achalta, what is that referring to? Zu achila, refers to eating. V'savata, and the second word in that pasuk, zu shtia, that refers to drinking. V'achila b'kazayis, and the standard of eating is a kazayis, an olive size. Rabbi Yehuda Savar, Rabbi Yehuda says, v'achalta v'savata, that he puts those two words together. Achila sheyesh bo svia, that is eating which has satiation. Ve'ezozu, and what is eating that has satiation? Kibetza, you have to eat at least the size of an egg. So that's in the case of the first of being included in a zimun hasa, but in the other case where they're talking about carrying meat outside and where you don't have to turn back anymore to go back to Yerushalayim, bisvar pligi. There they're arguing in logic. It's not a pasuk disagreement, it's a logic disagreement. Rabbi Meir Savar, because Rabbi Meir holds chazarto ketumaso, that it goes according to its tuma. So ma tumaso b'kebetza, just like its tuma is only on a kebetza, af chazaraso mikebetza, then your returning to Yerushalayim is also only if it's the size of a kebetza. Rabbi Yehuda Savar, but Rabbi Yehuda says chazarto keisuro, that you have to return according to its prohibition, its isser. How much could you have to eat for it to be asr, or for you to be punished for eating such a thing? Ma isuro b'kezayis. So just like its isser is contingent on you eating at least a kezayis, af chazarasa b'kezayis. So your returning has to be at least like a kezayis. So Abaya explains how they could have different measurements in both places and still be internally consistent in their own methodologies. So far, we finished that Mishnah. Let us do just until the end of this Mishnah, just to get started for the next, and then we will call that a day at the end of the Amud. So, Keitzad Mizamnin. How do we make a zimun? Bishlosha Omar Navarech. If there are three people, you say Navarech. Bishlosha Vehu Omar Barchu. But if there are three and him, he should say Barchu. So, and we'll discuss, this will all become very clear as we discuss this in the Gemara. But Asara Omar, but if there are 10 people, he should say Nevarech Elokeinu. That's the girsa of that zimun. But Asara Vahu Omar Barchu, and 10 plus him should say Barchu. Echad Asara, the Echad Asara Ribo. It doesn't matter whether there are 10 or whether there are 10 thousands. Ribo means 10,000. So 10 thousands would be 100,000. Whether there are 10 or 100,000, it is exactly the same. That's according to that opinion in the Mishnah, but there is another opinion right here. B'meya hu omer, if there are 100, new girsa, he should say Nevarech Hashem Elokeinu, adding the word Hashem. B'meya v'hu omer Baruch, but if there are 100 plus him, just say Baruch. Uve elef hu omer, but if there are 1,000, he should say Nevarech la Hashem Elokeinu Elokei Yisrael, adding more words to the girsa. The elef v'hu, but if there are 1,000 and him, omer Baruch, just say Baruch. B'ribo, if there are 10,000. Omer Nevarech Lashem Elokeinu Elokei Yisrael. You should say that all that plus in addition Elokei Tzvakos Yoshev Hakruvim. That and all that and still going Al Hamazon Shalchalnu, and that is the full girsa that he should say for 10,000 Jews sitting together for one zimun. We should all be zocher to see such a thing at least once in our lifetime. B'ribo v'hu, if there are 10,000 and him, Again, Omer Baruchu. Just say Baruchu, and that's the girsa that zimun. The same way, just whatever girsa he makes when the leader says the zimun, that's how everybody has to answer after him. Baruch Hashem Elokei, and this is regarding 10,000 people. Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Elokei Yisrael Elokei Tzvakos Yoshev Akruvim Al Hamazon Shachanu. That's how they respond back to him. Rav Yossi Aglili Omer, Rav Yossi Aglili says, Lefi Rov HaKahal Heim Mevarchim. According to the number of the people gathered there, that's how they make the bracha. Shenamar, as it says, B'makhalos Bircha Elokim Hashem Mimkor Yisrael. That we should bless Hashem with the full assemblies. Hashem, the source of Israel. Amar Rabbi Kiva says, Ma matzinu bebeis hakneses. What do we find in a beis hakneses? Echad maruvim ve'echad meutim. It doesn't matter if there are a lot or a few people. Amar Baruchu es Hashem. You just say Baruchu es Hashem. Rabbi Yishmael Amar, and Rabbi Yishmael says, Baruchu es Hashem hamivorach. Blessed is Hashem, the one who is blessed. And that takes us to the end of that Mishnah, and we will discuss this Mishnah in great length over the next day and a half. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.